Okay, so just a couple of days ago, there was a big whole showcase with that new Harry Potter game that's coming out, Hogwarts Legacies, and a few people have been upset about this for various reasons, and I don't know, so just a few things about the conversation surrounding all this is really annoying to me, so I just wanted to talk about it for a few minutes and just go into detail about some of the things that are irking me. I'm sorry, I can't find a good sitting position right now. I just want to preface this by saying that yes, J.K. Rowling is an obnoxious turf, and I don't particularly like her. Like, I've made multiple videos in the past on my main channel talking about that. You can check those if you don't believe me. And I have just talked about her in general as being an obnoxious turf. So, yes, some of the things she's said have been factually wrong and in some cases morally repugnant, so I'm not defending her at all here. But there are just a few things about the whole conversation this has sparked off which are not really getting the point, or they're missing the point. For starters, we are really jumping to conclusions with some of the stuff that's in this game. Like, it's not out yet. It won't be out for many months, and apparently a big part of the plot is going to revolve around a goblin rebellion. And people are saying, like, oh yeah, it's about a rebellion of slaves, therefore it's going to be about how slavery is good, actually. Like, guys, take a step back for a moment. It's not out yet. We don't know that. We don't know what's going to happen. Yes, there was that whole weird thing about the house elves enjoying slavery, which is a very strange part of the books, but for starters, the goblins aren't slaves. They're a put upon minority in this world, but they're not slaves. In fact, I think it's implied that Great Britain is like a dictatorial apartheid regime, and other wizarding countries kind of look down on them for that, but I don't know, that might just be me reading into it too much. But the game, for all we know, the message is going to be that, hey, the goblins are actually right to rebel, and the wizards are wrong to treat them this way. Like, that could be it. I'm not saying it will be that, because I don't fucking know, and neither do you. Like, we're supposed to make fun of people who jump to conclusions like this before a video game or a movie or something even comes out. You know, you're reminding me of those idiots that see a black person in the trailer for a movie and then they go, oh, damn it, it's going to be about how white people are evil or something, and then they just rant about that for 12 minutes and it gets 8,000 or 800,000 views in the first 2 days. Like, that, those are the types of people you're reminding me of. Just immediately jumping to conclusions. Like, settle down. Take a step back for a second. Like, you really do not have room to talk here. Just stop jumping to conclusions, okay? That's the main thing I wanted to talk about at the beginning. It kind of reminds me of before the Joker came out, remember, back in 2019? And some people were claiming it was going to be some weird incel fantasy about how, oh, he has no friends and no GF, therefore he's going to go psycho crazy and start killing people and it'll be justified. And people were kind of freaking out about it a little bit. And then the actual movie comes out and it turns out it's more about how all the abuses people suffer when you're in poverty are really terrible and they wear on you. And when you combine that with pre-existing mental health problems and no support structure, you eventually get people who snap and turn into violent psychopaths. Like, the whole message wound up being fairly left-leaning overall. Like, those people looked pretty fucking stupid afterwards. And that could very well be happening here. Like, at the very least, just wait until something comes out before you actually, or wait until you actually experience something before judging it yourself, for fuck's sake. Secondly, and this isn't really a new thing, but it is something that still irks me, it's people disliking J.K. Rowling, again, for good reason, and then using that as an excuse to retroactively claim that they've always hated Harry Potter and that they've always been terrible and there's nothing redeemable there. Like, guys, this is one of the biggest franchises ever in the whole world. Like, it's doing something right if it can connect with that many people. And don't fucking lie. When you were a kid, you liked it too. Okay, don't pretend otherwise, especially if you're my age or a little bit older or younger. Like, you were caught up in the hype. That's just, there might be a few of you that actually disliked it when the books were coming out or when the films were coming out, but you liked it too, okay? The main reason to dislike a lot of it is, like, overthinking some aspects of the world and everything. And don't get me wrong, I do that sort of thing too. I've made my whole channel off of it, basically, but it is still something that is, overthinking. It's fun, it's great, but there's really no reason to draw huge conclusions about the world or everything and say like, oh yes, I actually secretly hated this the whole time because of that weird plot with the house elves. Like, no, everyone else just thought that was kind of weird, but it's such a small part of the series, and then we moved past it. Like, the author being a shitty person doesn't actually affect the quality of their work one way or the other. And I'm not saying like, oh, okay, separate the art from the artist. It's perfectly okay to buy things from them and support them financially or anything like that. Like, no, I'm not saying that. That's a bit more of a complicated question, which, again, made a video about. But I'm saying it doesn't actually affect the quality of it. Like, another good example of this would be Nobuhiro Watsuki, who is a famous mangaka. He wrote things like Rurouni Kenshin, which I have right here, and a couple other series which never really got the attention they deserve. And the thing is, Nobuhiro Watsuki is a pedophile. Like, he has been convicted of possession of child pornography, didn't face any real consequences for it, but that is a real thing he did. So I will never again buy his stuff, at least not buy it new. Like, if I'm going to, I'll buy it used or something, because I don't want to support him. I don't want to give him any further money that he can use to give to people that abuse children or anything like that. That doesn't change the fact that Kenshin kicks fucking ass. This series is awesome. It's a great shonen battle manga from the 90s. You can definitely see how it inspired other series that I really like Gameran or Bleach or Naruto. And it's just a great, fun series on its own that has some pretty smart aspects to it, if I'm being honest. It's a good series, and the fact that the author is a shitty person really doesn't change that in either direction. And then, of course, there's the whole morality of, like, oh, is it okay to actually buy this game? And I'm not going to get into that, partially because no one's actually going to listen to me, no matter what I say, and partially because it's a complex issue. I already made a video on it a while ago, and I don't think I actually shifted the conversation in any meaningful way. But what I do want to talk about is how you're acting if someone is, like, a genuinely terrible person if they're still buying it, like some people are doing. Like, chill out. Settle down, okay? Like, at the end of the day, if someone's buying it, they're doing it because they want to, all right? Like, and some of that money's going to shitty people, but guess what? That's going to happen no matter what video game you buy. Like, whether it's a big AAA one, someone who worked on it's a shitty person. Might be someone high up, might be someone lower on the totem pole, but someone there is benefiting some way from your purchase. Even indie gaming has a lot of shitty people in it. Like, if we're going to start attacking people for buying video games that support someone to support someone that's bad, then we're gonna have to work at Minecraft and then go down from there, or start at Minecraft, work from there. I'm not repeating that. I don't care. But the point is, no matter what you buy, someone shitty is gonna be benefiting. And you say, okay, well, let's go try a different hobby, like the movies. Again, the Harry Potter movies are made by a lot of people. They're not just the creation of J.K. Rowling, and a lot of the people working on it have called her out for being shitty, including like Daniel Radcliffe and some of the other big actors. And beyond them, there's the other actors, directors, producers, writers, set designers, cinematographers. Like, there's a lot of people working on these, and that's true for pretty much every movie. Like, at some point, even if they're not someone that's big up on there, you're going to be giving money to a shitty person, and they're going to benefit from it in some way. So, if you're going to be going this far with Hogwarts Legacy, then really ask yourself, okay, am I taking this to a logical conclusion, or am I just doing it in this instance because it's convenient for me, and because I don't have to actually look into it any deeper? Because at the end of the day, it's going to happen no matter what. And by it, I mean you supporting someone shitty by accident. And I understand why people might be prickly about this and might just get angry and lash out at this sort of thing, like especially if you're trans or NB or anything else that Rowling has attacked in the past. Like, I understand you being upset with this and just sort of lashing out. Like, you and your community have genuinely come under attack, and I can understand why you'd be sensitive to that sort of thing. I really do. And maybe it's even safer for you to just lash out and not assume others are working in good faith. But in this instance, really just take a step back, take a deep breath, and really think about it for a moment. Like, just really think about if this is a big enough deal to get upset about. Like, okay, yeah, Turf is making money, but she's already a literal billionaire, so it doesn't make that much difference. And there's other people that are making money off of it that are shitty in some ways, but then there's other people that are not shitty that are making money off it. Like, it's more complicated than that. Like, I've seen people who I have actually spoken to a bit who are upset about this, and I know that they're not bad people. I know they're not stupid, and I'm not naming any names because it just seemed like a drama video or a call-out video or something like that, and that's not at all my intention here. I'm just saying I've seen people get upset about this who I know their heart's in the right place, but I just think they're really misreading this whole situation. And at the end of the day, I don't think it's a big enough deal to really get this fired up about. And at the end of the day, I am excited to play Hogwarts Legacies. You know, some people are saying, oh, it looks shitty. Well, that just comes across as like sour grapes to me in a lot of cases. Like, you're trying to convince yourself that you didn't actually like it in the first place just because Rowling's a shitty person. And I mean, maybe for some people that would be the case, like, especially if you're trans or something, just knowing that something you loved was created by a bad person might taint something about it for you. But as I said earlier, it doesn't actually change the quality. But for a lot of people, it does come across that way. And anyways, maybe you're thinking, okay, that makes me a bad person, or that makes me supportive of transphobia or something. And I don't think I can stop you from believing that, but I'm going to spend the rest of my time trying to convince you otherwise. You know, I'm going to continue calling out people like Rowling. I'm going to continue trying to be supportive of the community in other ways. I mean, I donated $20 to a trans charity in Texas that's trying to make a support network for kids and help them get away from all these shitty laws that they're passing recently, which I'm willing to bet, even though it's not a huge amount of money or anything that I've donated, I'm willing to bet that's more than a lot of you criticizing have already done. Like, not trying to call you out here, but I feel like if the extent of your activism is not buying a video game and then getting angry at other people who do, then you're not a very good activist. So, you know, at the end of the day, I don't know how many minds I'm going to change with this, but I did have to get it off my chest. Trans women are women, trans rights are human rights, Rowling's an obnoxious turf, and this Hogwarts video game really isn't that big a deal. Chill out about it, stop jumping to conclusions, yada fucking yada. I'll see you later. Please, if you're new here, subscribe to this channel and subscribe to my main channel. Follow me on Twitter, all that stuff. Just have a nice day. I'll see you later.